Okay, so a while back, I did a series over a couple of months where I walked through step by step the process of me actually mixing a song from beginning to end. Well, some time has passed, and I decided I wanted to make some updates to that mix. So let's talk about what I did.
At McCrae Music.
How are you doing? I am richly blessed. Pray that you are as well. All right, so updating a mix. So there are different reasons why you might update a mix. One would be, ideally you send out your mix and your client approves the first version of the mix that you send them and it's good. Oftentimes that does not happen. There might be little tweaks or different things that they might want to change or, things like that. Again, remember, it is not your song, it is their song, right? So we want to do our best to cater to the vision that they have for it. Unless it's yours, then do what you want to do, right? So that's one reason you might update the mix. And another is if the mix has just been sitting for a while and just as you listen to it, you might see some different things that you might want to do. And that's the case here. The mix has kind of been sitting for a while. The only reason I started mixing that song that early was for the channel. We are not at the mix phase for the project as a whole yet. We are still producing and building the project. But I did the mix then just to be able to show it on the channel and share with you guys. And so after kind of listening to it and kind of having some different goals in mind of things I wanted to improve, I decided to go back in and make a couple of changes. Not a lot of stuff. We're not changing like levels or things like that. But one of the big things that I've been focusing on, because I'm always learning, always growing, and I think you should be as well, is trying to open up the top end of my mix. And I probably mentioned this along the way. It takes time sometimes to figure out where you want to go in a certain area. So early on in my mixing career, my mixing life, it was the low end, right? Well, I don't really know what to do in the low end. I don't want it to be too boomy. So oftentimes I would just completely kill the low end to where there wasn't that bottom that needed to be there. And over the years, and as I changed into a different space and got the sub and treatment and things like that and kind of learned what to do, I was able to kind of master that or get better with the low end. I don't want to say master it. And so that's where I'm at now at the top end of my mixes, because I don't want my mixes to be harsh, to be completely transparent. Some of the, industry standard of what's going on today is kind of tough to listen to because it can be very harsh and brittle. And so I wanted though to have a crispness and an airiness to the top end of my mix without having a ton of that harshness and too much sibilance and things like that. So I've been learning different techniques and exploring different things. I showed some of them on the channel already. And so I wanted to implement some of that into that mix. And so that's what I did by dealing with the vocals and also dealing with the mix bus. But I don't want to get into too much of that right now because I want you to see it. So let's take a look at what I did. And before we do, please take a moment and like this video and subscribe to this channel so that you can know what is going on. And without further ado, let's take a look at some updates that I made to this mix. Okay, so the main thing that has changed in this mix is the mix bus. All right, I've just completely revamped how I'm processing my mix bus, not only in this mix, but actually moving forward. So we're gonna go through all the different things that are happening there. The other thing that has changed is I'm no longer sending all the individual channels to tape. I just felt like, just on reflection, it was just too warm and it was counterintuitive to my goal of really opening up the top end and bringing more clarity for this style of song where I'm going for more of a pop R&B polished industry sound. I just thought it was too much saturation, so we got rid of that. And then the other thing is I just switched my de-esser to using the multi-band compressor method that I learned and that I talked about, card up in the top if you did not see that video. So I'm using that on my vocals, and that really is it. Everything else that was going on in the mix is great to me. I didn't want to go and just start tweaking stuff just to tweak it. If it sounds good, it is good, so I left pretty much everything else alone. There might have been a little tweaks here and there, most of which were probably removing the SSL emulation. But as we can see in here, I left it there, so I don't even think I did that. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on in this mix bus here. So previously on the mix bus, previously on the Ed McCray Music Channel, previously on the mix bus, I was emulating an SSL console using the virtual mix rack. That has been removed, again, for the same reason of just not wanting too much warmth. And in its place, I've decided to go with this plugin that I've recently started using from Plugin Alliance, and this is the SPL PQ Mastering Equalizer, right? This is emulating, or it's a plugin version of the actual hardware EQ. And what I really like this for several reasons. One, it incorporates lots of things like the mono maker that I like. I could do different things left and right if I wanted to do so, but it just gives me some simple bands here that I can use to start shaping the overall sound of my mix. And what I'm doing here is just a couple of things. I am boosting I'm opening up the top end here a little bit above 20K. I'm opening that up about 3 dB, and I have a fairly wide Q here. And, I did this to taste while I was listening to it. So you would want to do the same thing. Don't just pick my settings. Just, do it till it sounds good. If it sounds good, it is good. And then another thing that I've been doing is I've been shying away. I noticed I have been shying away from the mid-range in my mixes, and I decided to just go in and start playing around with the mid-range, and I like what I am getting. So I'm boosting the mid-range about 2 dB here at somewhere in the 700 range. Again, the exact range doesn't matter. That's where it landed, and it sounded good. And I have a kind of a moderate Q going on here. And that's really all I'm doing here, right? And it's, of course, processing the same thing left and right. So let's turn the rest of the mix bus off. For now, matter of fact, let's turn the whole mix bus off. And we'll just leave that on. I will play it with this on, and then I will take it out, and we can hear what this is doing.
Lord, I said that I love you. I want to show you. I really, really love you bad. For the rest of my life, I'm going to serve you. I never want to make you mad. Oh, now forever, you are my savior. I'm never switching up.
All right, so that is doing some nice stuff, right? That is, you hear that top end opening up, and then the addition of the mid-range in there is bringing that up so it's not just harsh top end, right? That is really cool, and you can hear the vocals kind of shine out a little bit more when this comes in. Here, I'll do it again.
Lord, I said that I love you. I want to show you. I really, really love you bad. For the rest of my life, I'm going to serve you. I never want to.
You can hear that is bringing that vocal out more, which is mainly what we're using this to do, because the mid-range top, this is where the vocal is living at, right? So we're bringing that stuff out a bit more. All right, so that's happening there. That's cool. Then from that, we're going into our SSL bus compressor. Nothing new here. This is the same stuff that was going on before. I don't think I tweaked these settings at all. Let's just hear what this is just doing. We'll take it out and then add it in.
Lord, I said that I love you. I want to show you. I really, really love you bad. For the rest of my life, I'm going to serve you. I never want to make you mad. Oh, now it's
doing what a compressor does, right? It's gluing everything together. It's bringing the low stuff up. It's marrying everything really good. That is fantastic. Again, I'm pretty sure the settings here are the same as what I had before. You can kind of go back and watch the other videos and fact check me on that if you want to. Now, the next new thing that I started using is I decided to start adding some saturation to my mix bus, right? And I am doing this using the Black Box Analog Design plugin, which is also from Plugin Alliance, all right? And this is adding some saturation, which is adding more character to the mix. I'm actually going to leave this out, and then I'm going to bring it in. I have a moderate saturation going on here, and I'm adding a little bit more air over here on the right. Let's leave it out, and then we'll add it in.
Lord, I said that I love you. I want to show you. I really, really love you bad. For the rest of my life, I'm gonna serve you. I never wanna make you mad. Oh, now forever you are.
That is just, it is nice. You can hear it adding some extra character there to the mix. It's just adding a little bit more brightness. It's opening things up a little bit. It's just adding energy, adding those harmonics. It's making it just sound interesting. Let's listen to that again.
Lord, I said that I love you. I want to show you. I really, really love you bad. For the rest of my life, I'm going to serve you. I never want to make you mad. Oh, now forever.
That is sounding good. All right. And then the last thing that we've got going on in our mix bus is, of course, our tape emulator. I did leave that there. I liked what that was doing. We'll leave it out and then add it in.
Lord, I said that I love you. I want to show you. I really, really love you bad. For the rest of my life, I'm going to serve you. I never want to make you mad. Oh, now forever.
Not doing much, just adding a little bit of warmth, a little bit of character to the mix as a whole. This is great. Let's A-B the old mix. So I got Magic A-B going here. I've got the old mix on B, so I'm going to start playing, and I have this level matched so that it is, it's not just getting louder or quieter and tricking you. But I have it level matched here. So let's start off with our new mix, and then we will be back to our old mix. Here we go.
Lord, I said that I love you. I want to show you. I really, really love you bad. For the rest of my life, I'm going to serve you. I never want to make you mad. Oh, now forever, you are my savior. I'm never switching up on that. Lord, I said that I love you. I do my best to show you while I wait on you to come on back. Oh, Lord, the firm foundation, unshakable ground.
Good stuff. So you can hear, right, it's not changing the levels of things, right? The mix is what the mix is, but it's shaping the overall sound of the mix a little bit better. The new mix it's much more open on the top end. It's much crispier. It also, in my opinion, has more clarity on all the vocals and just everything, because we're just removing, we're adding more top end, more brightness. We're also removing a little bit of that warmth at the bottom, and it's doing good. So I like this mix much, much better. And again, these are the things that I have changed. So you may also have noticed it's deactivated, but I do have a limiter here, and there are two reasons why that's here. One reason is to just create a louder mix for the client when I send it to them, right? Because louder, if you're listening to other songs that you like in your car, and then you switch over to the mix and it's much, much quieter, immediately you're going to think that it's not as good usually, because loudness tricks our ears sometimes, which is why it's good to mix at low volume, right? And so, I'm just using this to boost the volume, to bring it up to streaming level so that it's just louder for the client. And the reason I'm using this instead of the Slate FX-2 that I was using before is because one of the things I was noticing is that when I send my mixes out to mastering engineers, when I get them back, I've been noticing that sometimes the reverb would just be really, really over-exaggerated to the point that I would want to go back to the original mix and tone it down. And the advice that I got when asking about it was, one, to use a true limiter to reference your mix or listen to your mix before you send it out, and two, to boost some mid-range in your mix if need be. And that will kind of help to counteract that. And so that's the other reason why this limiter is here, for those two reasons. All right, so that's everything that changed in this mix. Again, just some subtle processing on the mix bus, and a world of difference, in my opinion. It's about time for it to go to mastering, or once it is time for it to go to mastering and it comes back, maybe I'll do another video and talk about that process. All right, you can hear a clear difference. If nothing else, I hope that this and really all the content on this channel inspires you to keep learning, keep growing, keep trying new things, never feel like you've mastered anything. Always be a student, and as you learn new techniques or you see other people doing things and you want to go back and try it, right? Do it, right? Keep learning, keep growing, and keep getting better. better. All right, please again feel free to like this video and subscribe to this channel and get into the comment section and leave comments and questions and thoughts and all those different kinds of things. And feel free, of course, to reach out to me if you have something that you would like for me to mix, or you are working on a project and you need production or any of those different kind of things. Just take a look at my information in the bio of the channel and you'll see how to get in touch with me, because I would love to work with you. And it all starts with a conversation. So let's have a conversation, and could lead to some great things. All right, thanks for watching the video, guys. I'll see you guys again soon in another video.